morning, everyone. I'm Nicole Wolfe from Canadian Beats, and we are in Barrie, Ontario, and I am joined by In My Coma from Hamilton. They are here with us tonight. They've got a little stint happening right now in Ontario, a couple shows happening right now. Barrie's the first stop on their leg, and catching up with them to talk about what's been going on. So thanks very much for joining us. Good. So, just to introduce yourselves, I've got, who have we got here?
Laura Doll.
Lynn's.
I'm Jasper.
Mike.
Now, I don't think we've got original members, all of you sitting at the couch here right now, right? You started as a group of 3?
Yeah, we started a long time ago. I think, it depends how far back you want to go. Every band goes through member changes as you mature and everybody, goes off and does their own thing. But I guess Laura and I are kind of the original ones when my brother sort of split. But then Mike and I found each other very, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for?
Haphazardly? I don't know.
That's not the word I was looking for. It was serendipity. I think that's the word I was looking for. Yeah. And after we played those Moist shows, which is, I think, where you saw us for the first time, Mark McAway, the guitarist of Moist, decided, hey, can I help produce your album? And we were like, yeah, okay. That's a great idea. And he thought it would be a good idea if we got a keyboardist because we like using so many synth sounds. And so I did a little bit of digging, and not too dissimilarly from when we found Mike, we found Lynn's the same way. Back when Laura and I were first trying to find members, we came across Lynn's, but for whatever reason, the same thing with Mike. It didn't work out at the time, but then all these years later, we ended up crossing paths again, and it felt right because it had worked with Mike, and I thought this scenario is very familiar to us. Let's see how it goes with Lynn's, and it's been pretty rocking ever since. And she's been on the album, and we've been just plugging away, right? Yeah.
So 999 megabytes. How different would your band be if that was your name?
I stole that from a pun page that somebody posted, only to realize that it's not even that accurate because a gigabyte is 1,024 megabytes, right? So the 999 was actually 25 off, not 1, right?
How did you find that out?
Because I watched Star Trek. I'm a nerd, right?
So way cooler within My Coma, clearly. You're where you need to be, absolutely. Now, in the past, you mentioned you've toured with Moist. You've also opened up for Jeff Martin at an acoustic show in Hamilton. What have you learned from these really big musicians in Canada? What have they taught you?
Some are cool, some are not. Everybody's got their own style. The Moist shows are awesome. It's like, I think that's the one we remember the most because you end up downstairs, they invite you as part of their family. Everyone's very friendly, especially in Montreal. It was just an amazing experience to spend time with them while, we finish and we're just hanging out, and then they come across with like Crystal Skull vodka and they're like, you guys are partying with us tonight. We're like, okay, I guess this is happening then.
So they taught us how to be alcoholics? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Oh, no. I just wanted to say, notice when you asked me that, I actually couldn't get words out. I was, speechless. And that's how I felt when we played those shows. I was just like, I don't know what to say. What did they teach us? To be starstruck. I don't know, it's so hard. The shows, they were awesome, but it was just crazy. Yeah, really insane feeling. I loved it.
While we were doing our sound check in Montreal, Mark was on the floor sort of listening, so we were playing to an audience of, 4 or 5 people, and he was one of them, and he just walked by in the middle of one of our songs and gave us a little like that and moved on.
That's totally classic Mark.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So you've mentioned that he's produced your album. Have you finished all those songs, or are you still working with him? What's up with that?
Yeah, we finished most of them. I'm so excited about these songs, and it's going to be a lot of fun to play them tonight. But it was just one of those things that just felt right, and it's a really good experience to work with someone that has such insight into it, and they help open doors for you, and when you're working, I'm not saying that any of us have a problem finding inspiration or anything like that, but you kind of get set on one road and you're headed in sort of one direction and you have sort of concrete ideas as to what you want to do, it sometimes takes somebody to come in and shuffle those ideas around and make you question yourself, and in a good way, and explore different avenues. And he did that all the time. He was always throwing out ideas, and we came up with bridges and songs that I would have never thought of otherwise. And it was really good to sit with somebody who is no holds barred, a musician, and he helps people like us that are kind of on the cusp of it embrace your musician and not be afraid of it and just move forward with it. And that, I think, is really good for me, especially because I sometimes feel like I don't want to expose too much. And he was really helpful in opening that door and allowing it to be sort of freely done. I don't know what you guys thought. Mike just hits drums.
Yeah. He covers it all.
That's great. Well, I mean, there is really no better guitar player. One of the best guitar players for sure, right? I've been a fan of Mark McAway since I was a kid, so really exciting that you get to work with him. That's really great.
And I started to hear a little bit of that, and he gave me some really cool ideas for different guitar solos and things like that, just a different style of playing guitar that I would have never done before. And even then, I've been influenced from that for later songwriting and things like that. It's always good.
That's
always
great.
good.
Now, what's in store for the rest of 2016 then?
I would just say finish up the album, hopefully get on a good tour, and just play. That's what we want to do this year, yeah.
Get out there and just play, right? That sounds great. Now, I noticed on your website you've got a 9-frame video for your song "Losing Sleep." Really, really clever. Really, really well done. It almost reminded me. Was that your idea, Jasper? It kind of reminded me of the Brady Bunch, but in a much cooler way. How long did it take you guys to put that together? Like, I'm assuming that was homegrown. Yeah.
This guy's really good with the movies, and he loves to do that. So you go ahead and you describe.
I think it took a while, but it's really fun at the same time. So you don't do it all necessarily at once. We've got a bunch of them. Like, we just haven't released them all, and we don't want to be that 9-frame video band, but I like the idea of doing cool videos like that, performing your songs in a little bit of a different way. It's just a lot of fun, grabbing something different. And there are so many videos like that out there of people trying things in a different way that I thought, why the hell not? Let's have a good time. Let's play these songs in a way that it's a little bit different than what we typically do. Laura, pick up the guitar. Mike, grab a guitar as well, and we'll do what we can and see what we can put together.
I just hit drums.
Yeah, no. He can play guitar too. He does it all, just not as well as us.
That's the way it goes, I guess. That's good. So, social media, really big. I've noticed it's a big part of who you are as a band. You're on Snapchat all the time. I see your dog Pin all the time, probably more so than I see the rest of the band on Snapchat. How important is social media to your band? How do you use it?
Go ahead.
It's the Jasper Show, ladies and gentlemen. Well, yeah, so I love controlling the social media for the band, and I love learning about how it works, the ins and outs of it, and it's just such a labyrinth of different, technicalities that, what time you post, what types of things you post, etc. There's just so many different aspects to it that it's exciting when you find sort of a combination, some sort of algorithm that tends to work. And, that's not the reason I post so many pictures of my dog Pin. We like having the competition, and it's, this running thing every year. We'll post about each other's birthdays on the day, and, not to make Mike feel bad, but he always gets the least amount of likes. I get the second most. Anytime we post a photo of Laura and say it's her birthday, just everything explodes.
Well, that's when I was blonde. No, I'm kidding. We'll see.
We'll see if it'll happen with Lindsay as well. But social media is such a big part of everything these days, and it's a great way to reach out to people, and it's how we've reached out to our fan base that we have right now. Right. We've got fans in Brazil and things like that, and it's maybe more difficult to get your music out from just the sandpit of other music that's out there, but
The doldrums.
yeah, okay. But you do have a wider reach, and it's pretty incredible when you're able to make that stuff work. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, one of the stories that you broke on social media was poor Laura's pedal board.
I knew you were going to say that.
And I mean, we've had a happy ending to the story. You know, and if anyone wants to hear the story, I mean, they can obviously just go on your website or on Facebook to find out. But man, that must have been devastating.
Yeah, it was his fault that we lost it, I say, and then he got it back. And I just thought that was the coolest thing. It didn't matter. I thought, I can't believe he got it back. That was like some intense work he put in to find that. So I was like, you know what, I can't be mad now. Like, what the hell?
There was a real outpouring, right? Like your fans across the country were outraged, right? There was a little bit of camaraderie around that, for sure.
There was a lot of like, what's up with that? The people stole your stuff. And then there was a few people that were like, they didn't steal it. You left it out. They could take it. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know that was something I was going to hear.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. But it was okay. Whatever. We got along and just, you know, it was a stupid mistake, right? Yeah. So.
It was a mistake, and we realized while we were recording the album with Mark, and like just all of a sudden a light bulb goes off, and I was like, mother, oh my God, right? And I just stopped playing guitar, and I looked at Laura, and I said, I got to make a phone call. Right, and it was already gone. But like within 2 weeks, we got it back. And I remember once I posted that we got it back, Mark called me right away, and all he said was, "I got to tell you, Jasper, that's some intestinal fortitude right there." And that's kind of what it was. But you can't make this stuff up, you know. Like you can like read the story because it's pretty incredible. And I didn't make any of that up. The guy, Mike and I were out really late one night, you know, and we'd finally given up. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to ask this one guy. Just some, you know, I don't know, 55-year-old guy on his way home from work. I showed him a picture because we had security footage of the back of a guy's head, grabbing it and taking off with a walker. Such a weird situation. And it ended up being that guy that I wasn't going to talk to, but then finally decided to, that got off the bus one day, called my number, let me know that he found the guy, sort of told me where he was, hid behind like bushes or like a bus terminal, watching this guy, told me where it was, ended up at this apartment complex. I ended up hugging the guy that took it, who didn't speak English, showed me his karaoke collection. I got the pedal board back. It was just, I don't know. It's just crazy. Highlight of 2015, I think. Yeah.
All right, so just going to jump ship here a little bit. What do you guys like to do for fun when you're not in the studio, when you're not on tour?
Well, I like to go to big shows. Like, I'm not like a lot of people like to go down to clubs and stuff. I want to go see stadium shows. I love to go see like Aerosmith and like Bruce Springsteen was coming. We unfortunately didn't get tickets. Pearl Jam, I love big shows. That and just hanging out watching movies. I like that. Yeah.
Lindsay doesn't like doing anything. When Lindsay's not playing with us, she's petting her cats. I'm a big soccer player. I love my dog. I love taking Pin out for walks in the conservation areas and things like that. I think I play way too much FIFA too. Xbox 360. It's kind of an addiction.
I'm not very good at video games.
No, you're not.
I just like music, drumming, eating food, traveling.
He does like petting his cat.
I do like petting my cat frequently. Yeah.
Spreadsheets and computer.
I like spreadsheets. I'm like the internal band manager, so I deal with all the spreadsheets and the billing and all that kind of stuff.
That's great.
So I'll put that
So, are there any hidden talents, non-music, non-band related, that you can actually share on camera within this?
Oh my God.
Well, there you go. You're learning things about it. Oh my goodness.
That's all I got.
Wow. That's pretty impressive for sure. Not anymore.
I can juggle.
Can you?
I can juggle.
Two balls.
No, I can juggle 4.
Really?
Yeah.
You're a jester.
I can juggle 4 for maybe 15 seconds, 3 for as long as I want, and a soccer ball for as long as I want. I can do that for like hours.
This is so depressing. Now that you've asked me, I'm like, I don't have any hidden talent. I don't know. I don't know. I like to do yoga, but whether I'm good at it or not, that's not really a talent, is it?
I don't know.
I
You
guess.
just insulted every vegan out
Oh
there.
man. Oh, okay. Don't ever ask me any questions. I'm good at insulting people. That's what is my hidden talent.
It's true.
It is.
A nice
Laura's pretty good at coming out of her shell when she needs to. So when we opened for Sum 41 like several years ago, and the crowd was sort of going nuts when we came out just because they wanted something. Not necessarily because it was us, but Laura comes out and she's like, how's everybody fucking doing tonight?
And I'm like, where did that come from? And I'm like, that wasn't me, was it? Yeah. It was.
These things happen.
Yeah.
Now, if you had to collectively give up music, could you replace it with anything?
Like if the band, we had to just no more music.
No more music, nothing related to the music industry. No, not necessarily, but collectively you had to give it up. Would you be able, individually or as a group, replace it with anything?
Rather,
Well, no,
but you
I'm-
have to. No.
Oh, I have to?
Yes.
Well, can I say this on camera?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think Mike's answer probably trumps everybody else's. What? No.
I don't think so.
I'd probably be good at,
Carpentry?
I guess so.
I don't know.
No.
It's just too fun. We have too much fun. It's not something. It's like the fun that you have with the band is not something I personally could find anywhere else.
Right.
Like, there have been times where it's been so stressful and just things that happen with the band that just make you go, what the fuck am I doing this for? But then you're like, no, that's not part of it. This is part of it. This is why I like it. And that's what's always been like, no, I keep going because it's fun with these guys.
I'd be doing this long if that wasn't the case.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
My name's Lindsay, and I would love to drive a steamboat.
Steamboat?
Steamboat Lindsay.
Wow. You're not gonna like that.
Oh my goodness, okay. Well, I was going to ask who the troublemaker of the group is, but clearly I know the answer to that is probably...
Oh yes, somewhat him.
Have you seen all the videos of me scaring Mike on tour?
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
like being scared.
Ah! Every time.
It's really funny.
I'm the troublemaker.
Yeah, big
Huh?
time. Yeah. Class clown.
It works. You keep your band on your toes,
Yeah,
or on
yeah.
their toes.
Exactly.
That's for sure. Now, if you invited Canadian Beats over for dinner, what would you make us for dinner?
Can I answer that? Pierogies and cabbage rolls.
Oh,
Love it. I know. Yes.
Say something.
Hot dogs. No. Cranberry relish.
I'm Lindsay. I'd make you some fava beans.
I take care of the drinks.
Yeah.
I would be the bartender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would.
what would be the drink?
Oh, yeah.
You guys would have to sleep over because we would be really drunk.
What would be the
drinks
drink?
flowing. Martinis. We'll make you martinis.
Where's the Jaeger?
I'd
Jaeger bombs.
Okay.
We'll do
I'd
Jaeger
cook
bombs.
you bacon and eggs. Actually, I don't eat pork anymore, so I'd probably make you eggs.
What?
With turkey bacon, maybe?
Oh yeah, I could do that.
Okay, so if we're staying over, then you're making us breakfast then. That's what you're telling us.
I'd make you bacon and eggs, or pour you frosted flakes.
I'll take the bacon and eggs. Okay, sounds good. Now, in 20 words or less, describe In My Coma.
So hard.
20 words or less?
Yeah.
You've already used up 4.
In My Coma. Is it syllables or words?
Words.
Okay, good. In My Coma is a band of lovely people playing lovely music for lovely people.
That's lovely.
You can count down later. You can count down later.
Okay, I will. We'll tally it up and we'll let you know how you did. That's great. You guys are, yeah, of course.
This is not a fashion statement. It's for a music video. But that's all I'm going to say on that.
Well, you have mentioned that already once on your Facebook page, I think. Yeah.
When I said, hi guys, Happy New Year. Tried that weird
beard.
voice. I was imitating The Room, the movie, oh, hi Mark.
It's the worst movie ever made. If you YouTube that, The Room, you'll see that.
You have heard this? Oh, you're
Who wants to know the worst movie ever made?
I'm not sure I'm ready for that. I don't know. All right. Well, you guys are clearly a lot of fun. And I'm sure that is going to also transpire on stage. Lots of good times to be had on stage. We look forward to seeing you tonight. We're definitely going to take lots of pictures and put a full review together for you.
Yes.
So thank you very much for joining us here today. Barrie, your first time being here?
Yes.
Awesome, awesome. Well, welcome to Barrie, welcome to Freezing Rain Town, and hopefully you get home safe to Hamilton tonight. So, thank you very much for joining us.
I know the world is getting so damn